going, everybody? Doing an end of the year ramble here today. I might alternate between whispering and soft spoken. I'm not sure. If I remember to over the course of the video, I will. I'm just gonna ramble. One last ramble to end the year, and then we'll start with some fresh ones in January. I do have the rest of this year planned out. What's today, the 27th? I want to do Hogwarts Legacy gameplay. I was going to do one today, but I'm not. I want to play a little bit more. I'm about an hour and a half in, I think. And I'm enjoying it, but I want to have it be a little bit more along on the video, in the game. Before I do the gameplay. I was asked about Road Rash 2 as well, so I'll probably end up doing a gameplay of that as well, probably early next year. That one's, I threw that one in to test it because I got it off eBay. I just want to make sure it works. And I'm using the Retron 3 controller, which is not really laid out like the Genesis controller. So it's like the button to go is A, and then like the C button over here is the punch button. So it's harder to use it. I gotta see if I can change that. Maybe in the settings of the game I can rearrange the buttons. Because B makes more sense, the middle button for the punch, and then A. They need to be next to each other, not have a gap between them. But yeah, I'm going to do, obviously this, I want to do that Hogwarts gameplay. That'll probably be maybe Monday. I'm going to be doing the last of the year, the last NFL recap. That'll be on the 31st, Tuesday. That's 2 vids on top of this to Ramble 3. I might give myself another day of no videos, and I'll probably do one more of the tapping ones, and then that last tapping one will get up early next year. And then we'll move to the second round of that. Yeah, another year in the books. I can't believe we've been down here this will be the 7th month. We're almost to the 7th full month of being down here. It's like you feel like you've been here for a while, but you also feel like you've only been here for as short as you have been, but it sometimes feels like it's been a while. But it's been nice, it's obviously you got to adjust and adapt and whatever. But we've done a lot of cool stuff. We did a Christmas trolley tour that was Monday actually. We'd done the same one. They do it for Halloween as well. We did the Halloween one, we did the Christmas one. And the same actors from the Halloween one that do the urban legend stuff. They come on the trolley at different points. The trolley stops at different places around town. And they reenact, or they play through a Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. So that was cool. And then we carol along in between stops, and there's trivia. It's pretty fun. Halloween one was good too. And done some other things too. Like I said, we went to the zoo and stuff. And we've gone to that cider house a bunch of times. Mill Creek Orchards, I should call it. I think it's Mill Creek Orchard. There's a cider house there as well. It serves food, but then they have all the other stuff they do in the barn with their home baked goods and stuff. But yeah, that was fun. What else have we done? I forget. Gone to a couple of movies, 3 movies, I believe. We've seen Twisters here, Speak No Evil, and Heretic. Probably gonna check out Sonic 3 soon as well. And it's been a good year for vids and stuff. I mean, I can't believe that Christmas video. Now, the games I completed video did gangbusters, did incredible. And then I knew the Christmas haul was going to do well. They always do. At least I was looking back at the past ones. Obviously, the early ones, early in the channel, were not viewing as well, and they were also gum chewing. So that's an instant, I should have started gum chewing earlier on my channel. There's a couple of things I could have done earlier on my channel that I didn't, to help myself out along the way. But I'm still doing well, and like I said, that Christmas haul video I didn't put a video up yesterday, and I was like, okay, the views will drop. The views actually went up slightly, and I was like, wow. And that video is viewing well. The other one's still viewing well. So I was like, awesome. You know, that always kind of, I was saying this to myself, probably out loud. It always kind of invigorates you and excites you when like a video does extremely well. You just get excited, you know. The same way, like, if I do certain videos, I get excited. I mean, they might not end up viewing well, but they're still exciting to make. Certain things always kind of get you pumped. If you're a content creator, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I got a bunch of comments in there and everything, a lot of likes. It's nice when a video breaks through. And I'm not even talking about, like, it's doing, it's at 50,000 views right now, but I'm sorry for what my videos do, for it to break through like that and have, like, close to 5,000 views in 48 hours is incredible. It's been a good year, though, Half the year was here, a little more. 7 months here, 5 months in New York. I miss New York for certain reasons. Obviously friends and stuff is the main one. I don't really have my fiance's family. A lot of her family's still there, but there's some are actually down here as well, like I've talked about. But it's mostly friends for me now. I have some family there, but not family that I'm overly close with anymore. My mom and aunt are in Florida now, so that's kind of the home state in a way now. And my mom's been in Florida for like 20 years. Like I said, you guys would know, I helped my aunt move down back in 21. It's funny how where we are is like literally the same amount of time to get back to New York, to get to Florida where they are. It's like the same distance. It's just kind of funny. It's been nice here, It's been a little too cold this winter. And we were talking to some of the neighbors, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, this has to be like lower than average, right? They're like, oh yeah, it's definitely lower than average. I'm like, man. First winter we're here, and immediately it's dropping. We did have that little half-inch of snow. But a lot of things going on in terms of the channel. It's been a good year. I'll get the full tallies at the end of the year, but still going strong. In my, I think this is the 9th year of doing this channel. I based it. Technically, it'd be, well, no, it wouldn't still be. The 2025 would be the 10th year I've been doing it in, because I started this channel in 2016 for like 3 months, 4 months. But I look at it as 16, 17. I look at it as like a YouTube year, like, so it goes from whenever I think I started the channel. The first video for this channel was September 5th through to the next September 5th. But still going strong. And hopefully still go strong for another, who knows what. I think age is more of a thing than anything, but not in terms of like, I can't do it, it's too hard, labor intensive, not like that or anything. Just more like, how long do I want to make the videos, and how long do I want to go? In my mind I always had it at least, well, it would at least be another, like 5 at least. I'd put myself at like, maybe like 7, 8, maybe like 8 more years I could say. I mean, you never could go past that too, but it's definitely for the foreseeable kind of future. As long as I'm capable and I still care enough. I mean, if anything, over time I'd probably slow down a little bit, but I don't see any of that. I think I've picked up the pace as the years have gone by. And analytics play a huge role in that. I'm not gonna lie, but if I really was like, I'm not feeling it, or I feel like I'm just phoning it in, I've talked about this in the past, I would completely slow down. Like, I'm not gonna I typically will not force a video up. I'm not to say I haven't done it in the past, but sometimes it's after I make the video. I'm like, that didn't come out well. And sometimes that doesn't even matter, though. I think a lot of content creators just think about things. Like, you think of videos like, oh no, but the subs and you guys, the fans or the subs, people don't care. They're like, hey, this is good anyway. Like it's funny when you sometimes see that. But it's been a solid YouTube year, no doubt about it. And that's thanks to all of you, as always. All the subs, old and new. Some of you have been with me for probably since the beginning, or at least close to it. I've noticed lately, and I've watched a couple of videos where people have said this too. I tend to find myself watching, like, I talked about, I was watching like paranormal debunking videos randomly for a bit. Now I'm watching these things where people watch, like, they'll either watch like Instagram Reels or TikTok stuff or other things, like big kind of hashtag type things, and they'll just talk about it. But I was watching one of this kid watches, I think he's like mid-20s. He'll watch like some older shows, like he's watching Ghost Adventures and kind of just making fun and just poking fun and having a good time. I was watching those for a while. Those have been entertaining. But people are saying, like, and I've noticed on my own too, comments just don't show up. Like, say I have a video up and it says I have 11 comments, and I look and I only see 10. I have to either go to top or newest through the comment section to see this other video comment that's just randomly hidden. It's not even in the held one, because I get the nastier comments and the ones with curses in them and stuff. Sometimes will be potentially inappropriate, and then comments will end up in there where I'm like, why the hell is this in here? Sometimes spam related stuff will go in there as well, but these don't even go in there. They literally, and replies sometimes will just there. I'm like, where is it? And I know sometimes I would assume the people, you guys yourselves, are deleting the comments, I would think, because I'm not deleting them. Because I go to look and I'm like, where did it go? And then it's happening more now, where I have to look and there's like a comment or two almost every video that's just hidden for no reason. And I see the comment. Now, I don't know, some usernames YouTube might think is a little too risque or something. I'm trying to like figure out why they're going there. I know certain words YouTube, I guess the algorithm or YouTube's whatever inner workings doesn't approve of, so it goes there and you gotta look. But I've seen that on other people's videos too, where they talk about it or they say it in a comment, like, where are these comments? And this has happened for a while, but it's happening more frequently now. I don't know why. It's always something with YouTube, though. It's always YouTube's ever changing and weird things, right? But what else? Like I said, though, thanks to everybody for the comments, the likes, gifts through PayPal, gifts through the Amazon wish list throughout the year. Thank you to everybody who's just, even just, you just watch my vid and enjoy it. You don't have to like it, you don't have to comment. You just come and enjoy it. Everything counts and everything matters, And it's still, another reason why I love making the videos is when you get like a nice comment where someone's like, oh, I was struggling recently. I mean, you don't want to hear anybody struggling either, because then you're like, oh shit, I'm sorry you're going through that. But people will be like, oh, your vids help me and stuff. And that means like a lot. Like, it really does. Like, it almost gets me a little emotional sometimes when I read the comments, because I'm like, it means a lot knowing that the videos do help in any way, because it makes you feel like you're doing something worthwhile, a higher meaning to the vids. And anybody who just gets entertainment value as well, all of it matters, because that's how my viewing kind of is now. Like I said, I'm watching these YouTube videos, and the funny thing is I'm not even watching as much ASMR lately. I watch a lot of the stuff I watch people I watch. ASMR with Bex is one that I always watch. She's my favorite, ASM artist. Is that what they call it? I never called myself ASMR creator. And I watched other people as well. That I know I got I need to do it at some point when I start to request up again about what I'm watching on YouTube. It's not even necessarily that I'm sub to like some of these, like I'm talking about like these debunking shows and stuff. Like I'm not even sub to these people. I just go and watch their videos. It's like I'm subbed, but I'm not, because I'll go back. Oh, I'm going to check out their vids. They're still getting the views and stuff. They just don't have the number of the additional sub, but I'm still watching videos. But I watch a lot of my older ASMR videos that I have liked. I mean, I still do watch. I don't comment a lot, admittedly, on a lot of channels. I probably should comment more in 2025. I do like a lot of stuff, but I watch it. Sometimes I'm weird, and maybe you guys could relate with this too. Like sometimes I'm like thinking about the best comment to leave. Like I'm like, oh shit, you know. I'm weird with that with text too. I'm like, you know, but I know a lot of people like this, right? You're like, I gotta leave like the perfect response to this text. Like, oh no, will this come across right? Yeah. Making a mountain out of a molehill on a text response or a comment. A lot of the creators I've watched years ago, ASMR specifically, are done. Like they don't even make videos anymore, which kind of sucks. But that's life, right? People get on with their lives, you know. But then people reappear as well. So, but like I said, it's been a solid year. You know, let's hope 2025 is a big one. I like where I'm at though. You know, I'm grateful for where I'm at too. Like, I typically don't take it for granted. I think anybody who makes YouTube videos consistently, right? You put up at least a couple a month. You're always going to think you should have more than you have subs and whatever. I feel like I'm in a good place. Do I feel like I should have more? Sure, but I'm very grateful that I do have what I have. You know, but new state, still adjusting. Like I said, I miss New York. I miss hanging out with my friends and stuff, obviously. I miss just taking walks. Because like I said, this isn't like where we're at is like not walkable. Like if we go into the mountains, take a walk on the trails, or we go to the zoo and stuff, take a walk. When I'm cutting the lawn, I'm walking a lot because it's a big lawn. I gotta go up and down the freaking hill here. But that's why I do use a treadmill, so I can get that walking in. Because I used to just go out and take a walk around the blocks in Islip, you know, or when I was in Massapequa as well. Just walk, like I'm going and walking. There's not a lot of sidewalks down here. Even in the town itself hasn't, but there's a main strip with like Walmart, the fast food places, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, the big stores, and shopping centers and the mall. There's some sidewalks, but not a lot. It's weird. You have to see people walking in the grass and stuff. I'm like, where are the sidewalks? Did I talk about I think I did, right? We went and looked at some Christmas lights. My fiance found this online somewhere. Maybe Facebook, I don't know. I guess 3 of these kind of communities did it in the town itself. But only one does it now, where like the whole streets, all their streets are lined with paper bags that have candles in them, so it looks really nice. And then people put up, not every house, but a lot of the houses put up Christmas lights as well. So we went and did that. It was cool. Some nice houses back there too. I was like, whoa, look at these nice brick houses. That was cool. I need to get to those antique stores more in the new year. I love going to those stores, just walking around. I'm pretty good with buying stuff in there when I go in there, but sometimes I do not. But it's still nice just walking around. The one is huge. 2 of them are really, well, one's big, one's really big, and the other one's smaller, but not tiny. But I talked about my collecting habits too. Like I'm gonna be focused on the original Xbox, PS5, and PS5 just because that's the console, the newest console that I'm playing, right? Original Xbox and the case, at least cases, but hopefully complete Genesis games that aren't too expensive. Everything else is like here and there. If I pick practice on those systems. I want to try to get more gameplays up in 2025 as well. Don't take anything I say, though, is going to happen. I say it to myself, too. I'm like, can't wait to get that role play up that I'm going to do. And I just don't do it, or I do it 6 months later. I'm not somebody that does well with, like, strict scheduling, because I've tried to do it even with my channel. I'm like, I can't do it. The only thing that, and it's not all year, obviously, the only thing that really is stuck in its place is the NFL recap. It's usually Tuesday. I know maybe 1 or 2 times I didn't do it Tuesday, but it's almost always Tuesday. But it's nice to have that video do that time. Everything else is just like, okay, when am I going to do this? Like even today, I was like, I'll do the Hogwarts Legacy gameplay, and then I'm like, I'm only an hour and a half in. I want to get a few more spells, do more things, get a little further along before I do it. And then I'm like, let me do the end of the year Ramble. I still have to show those starting lineups I got. I haven't even opened them yet. I gotta do that still. Maybe I'll do that with the next round, part of the first round of the tapping tournament. I need to get a new leaf blower for next year. I got the leaf blower, leaf sucker combo, and I use the leaf sucker part because getting onto the walks, into the gravel backyard in the driveway, and it doesn't suck up the little rocks. But the leaf blower we have just it's not powerful enough. I can see a lot of people around here with the gas powered ones, the big kind of opening to launch these leaves. Like I can get these leaves somewhat into the woods, but they get stuck on trees. Like I need the one with serious power. Just throw them right into the woods. I do need to finish up the leaves, though. Some trees will hang on to the leaves, like into the new season. The plus is I can do this throughout the winter because you're going to get warm days throughout the winter. It's going to be warmer here than it would be in New York. Even though I've been doing it in New York, too. But not nicely because we rented, but it has to be quite a random February day and get the rest of these leaves up. We do have a desk coming from the back end of the arena. You obviously can't see it. You've probably seen it in some of the walkthrough videos that I've done here. A desk in the area over there, so I might get another partial bookshelf. A smaller bookshelf, I should say. So I might film some videos from back there at a point, so you'd be getting these windows in the background. Yeah. Actually, it's interesting because we have a bigger computer monitor that I'm thinking now I might actually run some videos through that. Maybe one day I'll do a live stream. I don't know. But yeah, solid year. I had the health issues, and I still do. The chest, I told you, I got the endoscopy. I was going getting stress tests and echocardiogram and stuff. And it all came back fine, yet, and things went away, and then they've come back recently. They've cooled down a little bit. And like I said, so much of this is my own fault for eating shit or drinking alcohol. Eating things I specifically shouldn't be. And I've been better with that. So it eases up a little bit, but I'm going to have to get back to the doctor anyway in the new year. Find a doctor to go to. But, yeah. I'll be going back to New York in March, I believe, a little bit. Not a little bit, like 6 days or something. Gotta get to Florida again as well. That'll be fun. Get to some of those gaming stores too when I'm up there. maybe I'll go up there with like a specific amount of money to use on games, because it's nice down here. Like the Antiques and Geeks has a decent amount of games. They're not all in one spot because it's everything. It's antiques, all types of stuff. But there's one place that has a decent amount of games in a kind of case. Some other ones, there's one up front that has a decent amount. They're there, but it doesn't. Even if I combined all the games from all three of these things, antique places, even the Toy Busters as well, where I got the Bloodstone, they're mostly toys, but there's a rack of games. But it doesn't compare to like an East End Gaming or Video Game Trading Post on Long Island, where it's just wall-to-wall games. So I might get there and be like, okay, what do we got? Pick up some stuff I need. Maybe go all out, because I'll only realistically be up there probably twice a year to get to these places. So maybe I'll finally spend like $50, $60, $75 on some games, because I would go in there and be like, I'm going to spend $100 today. And then I find myself spending lower and lower. I'm like, let's keep it under 20. That's what I like to do that. Play that game with myself where I'm going to spend 50. No, you know what? Let's go under 30. It was interesting. Let's say it wasn't too interesting of a year. It was just crazy to think like this time last year we weren't considering. I mean, we knew we were going to be moving. Not, I think, as soon as we did. Maybe you throw another year into the mix. It wasn't going to be super long. Maybe we would have stayed near the latest into 2025. But, in December, I mean, we were also sick for Christmas, and I was feeling like crap at that stuff. I mean, we went to Florida on New Year's Eve last year, and I was still feeling great. Like, part of me was like, I don't even feel like going. But then we started looking, like, when we got home, we started to look. And then literally, like, the first house that gets put in on, you're thinking this is going to be a process, and it's not. You're just like, okay, well, we accept. Like, holy shit. Same thing happened with the apartment, too, in Islip. It was like, first one we legitimately wanted and asked about, we got. I'm going to miss that apartment, though. It was fun. It was good times. Downstairs, people that ended up renting the bottom half, but then they purchased the house, and we were obviously renting to us. They were really cool, and when we go up there, we'll visit them as well. Long Island's cool. Like, it sucks in ways, obviously, but it has everything you need. Doctors everywhere, stores everywhere. Like, if you're looking for something, you're probably not going to have to go more than 20 minutes to get it. But there's also a shit ton of people. It's noisy. People drive like lunatics. It's funny, like, the contrast between people up north and down here. They're driving. There's never any in between. Like, people are either driving slower, they're driving faster. It's very hard to find people who go in between. But like I said in the past, New York's that the thing that's nice about down here is it's mellower. People are moving. They're not on edge. Like, Long Island, everybody's like, it feels like everybody's like ready to break. Because you're dealing with so many people every day. And listen, New York, especially, not all of New York, but Long Island is expensive. And you could be one lost job away from being fucked. So I think everybody's ready to. I don't think they mean it. Well, the people up there are nice. They what do they describe it as? Like, they're mean, but they're nice. Like, they'll be nice to you while they're being like, they'll help you. You did something stupid. They'll have to let you know you did something stupid, but they're gonna help you. But it's funny coming down. I think I probably mentioned this months ago. My fiance was looking for a new car. So we got into the accident literally like 8 hours before we were gonna leave to come down here. And the guy's like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" The guy in New York. He's like, "Really?" I go, "Long Island, Massapequa." He's like, "Oh, Massapequa, the Infinity dealership." I was like, "It doesn't matter where you are. You're finding some. It's not even like they're from New York. You're finding people that are almost specifically in the county you lived in. Why is that? It's like any state too. Like anywhere. I feel like if I went over like England or France, Germany, wherever, I somehow would run into somebody that's like, yeah, I lived in Belmore. What? It's very strange. Maybe that's everywhere, but every town, place you live in. But it's just strange that people are like, if there was another thing down here that was weird. And then my fiance was doing something, and the lab they were going to send the results to was in Massapequa. I was like, what? Like, what? Like, of all the towns, it's Massapequa? Come on now. All the towns in the country. But, like I said, like, Long Island for health-related stuff is very good. And there are a lot of labs there and stuff. It's almost a hub to an extent. That was weird. I was like, what? The same thing in Florida. Florida's a little different because a lot of people move down to Florida, right? But it's not, people say like they move to the south. North Carolina is not. A lot of people move to get out of the cold and get away from the traffic and shit. You know, everybody has their reasons for moving. You want to be closer to family or whatever. And people move back. I was talking to people that moved to Florida that moved back. And maybe not to New York, but much further north. But, we were at Publix in Florida. And someone's like, oh, the accent sounds familiar. Oh, I lived in Freeport. Like, they hadn't been there for years, but like, I was going, of course. It's funny, though, everybody seems to be moving away from Long Island, yet there's still so many freaking people on Long Island. The population's getting higher. But, it's nice down here. I do like it. I like it is a slower pace. People are not, and you have to adjust to it because your mind is so, like, used to, like, you know, you just gotta, like, yes, I can chill here, and this is, we're gonna just move at a much more slower, normal speed, as opposed to the freaking, up there, which some people like. I'm not. You get used to it, and you kind of behave a little bit that way, just because you have to. But it's like some people do like the hectic, just balls to the wall pace of Long Island and New York. I mean, that's 5 boroughs. I mean, the city's even worse. Which is funny, but it's nice down here. You know, and all the people are super nice, and neighbors and stuff are super nice, and what would the word be? Accepting. I don't want to say accepting, but they're very welcoming. You know, it's not like we're coming down here like jerks. Like, no. If anything, I'm going to keep to myself and not bother anybody. That's how I was up there too. Like, I wasn't going on my way. Like, I tried to keep to myself as much as I could. The problem is you encounter so many people in a random day. Especially on the train. I was on the train, on the bus. You're just encountering situations constantly. That's the thing. That's a good way to describe Long Island. You want to say the 5 boroughs as well. There's a lot more chance of a situation happening in your everyday life up there than in a smaller town. And it's not even this town's smaller. This is a very big town, but the population is less than like Massapequa was, Islip. And the problem is, like I've said about Long Island, it's all one big town. There's no difference between Massapequa, Seaford, Belmore, Freeport, Merrick. There's no difference. They're all next to each other. It's one giant town. You have to go further out east for it to spread out. Pretty much past Patchogue is when it starts to actually. Where we were in Islip, you can see it start to spread. But it starts to really spread after Patchogue. Because it's funny, living in Nassau to Suffolk, Middle Suffolk, you see the pace is a little bit slower in Islip than it was in Massapequa. There's a little change, but not much, but it is there. I don't know why I'm rambling on about it, but hey. I like, this town's nice, especially where we're at. It's just a nice vibe. I love the free scene. You know, you come down the road and you see the little mountains mountains in the background. It's something like I can't get bored of that view. Like, that's awesome. You see the little, and they're called mountains. It's the Burkhead Mountain Wilderness, but they're not huge. But hey, it's elevation that you weren't getting. Long Island is like this, flat. You know, I think Ice Up Mass Peak was like elevated. Most of Long Island, middle of Long Island, it's higher elevation, but like 10 feet above sea level. You know, I think here is, I don't know what it is, maybe like 800 feet or something. I don't know. The mountains are higher. I think the mountains are like 900 feet, but even where we're at, we're up. You know, you have to, when you come onto the road, you're ascending, which is cool, isn't it? You don't get that on Long Island. You don't get a lot of scenery outside of buildings, houses. When you go down to the ocean, it's awesome. You're seeing the ocean. It's incredible. And you go up north, you get some more woodsy areas and stuff, but it's just different. I mean, listen, it's just a different thing up there. You're on an island, you know. See you on the island that arranged can be. That's another thing I'm going to end up trying to do. And I want to do some more, like some of my role plays. I want to do different voices, like, where were you in those woods? Why were you in those woods? Stuff like that, you know, like, what were you doing in those woods? You shouldn't have been in. I'll practice a few now. Now, what were you doing? That's hey, what were you doing in those woods, pal? No, seriously, like I told you to stay out of those woods. You're not supposed to be in those woods. This is like my regular voice anyway, a little deeper. Hey, I'm not great with voices. Just something a little different, you know. Yo, what you doing out there, Tommy? Don't make me give you the back of my hand. I like that one, though. I told you not to go in those woods. Why were you going into those woods? Anybody likes any of those voices, let me know. I'll try to use them. If you get this far in the video. But yeah. And I want to go a little more of the goofy stuff, like with the sounds video I did in the garage. Or even like the slip into shadows, where I'm talking into there's no light or anything. Even though that viewed like complete shit, I still do like to do that kind of stuff from time to time, because it's just, I don't know, it's fun. And I put up enough videos to where I can do that. I'm like, whatever, you know, it's not going to view well, doesn't matter. I'm going to have a video up the next day anyway, right? And sometimes in my mind, I'm like, I got to stop doing those kind of videos. And I do them. I keep doing them. But stop this in a few minutes. Football season's almost over. Hockey is in full swing. Islanders suck. Islanders are exactly what they are, actually. They're a little under 500 at the moment, but I want them to kind of just tank and get a better pick. Do not squeeze into the playoffs here and get smacked in the first round again, okay? There's no point. You're not improving your team at any point. You're not doing it. I understand hockey. Something could just boom. All of a sudden your goaltender's lights out and you do a playoff run. That isn't happening with them. Even the Rangers are playing very poorly. Recently, they've been on a bad streak. They were doing well, and then they really fell off. The Islanders have literally been what they've been the whole year. They go bouncing back and forth. A couple games under 500, a couple games over. They're exactly what they are. And Lamoriello is not going to improve them at any point. He'll be like, I like what we have. Like when they... I'm going to just go into a little ramble here about hockey, maybe a little basketball as well. The Islanders played the Sabres when the Sabres were on a 13-game losing streak, and I knew before that game started, I'm like, the Islanders will lose this game. They not only lost the game, they lost 7-1 to a team on a 13-game losing streak, and they were at home. Think about you're a fan going to a game. It's not like they lost 3-2 tight game. Team breaks their losing streak. They got destroyed. It wasn't even close at any point. They got annihilated. That's classic Islander hockey right there. That's Islander hockey before they got good with Trotz. I mean, they made the playoffs with Tavares like 3 or 4 times, but they still would have their Islander moments. Although they like to blow their third period That's something that's been around for a while. I don't really know who's doing well. Capitals are doing well, even though Ovechkin's hurt. They're still doing well. Hurricanes are doing pretty good. Devils are doing all right. Leafs are doing all right. Winnipeg was doing well. Minnesota. And Colorado's going to be doing pretty good, right? Like, I've seen the standings recently, but Portland basketball, I get this freaking Portland that. They are not improving. They did beat Utah last night after being destroyed by them by 43 points at home a couple of weeks ago. They won by 2 last night. They're 10-20. I think they've improved by 1 game at this point from last year. I don't know about Billups. You want to watch a good YouTube channel. It's funny, too. Informative, though. It's called Awful Coaching, where this guy just loses his shit over bad defense in the NBA. Like, he watches the games, and he's like, you can't do this. This is awesome. Maybe some of you watch it, but... yeah, Portland's not... I know they're like, we got to figure out why nobody's watching the game. And although Christmas ratings were up from last year, a lot of people are not watching. Look, a lot of it's chuck up threes. And here's the thing. If you're a good 3-point shooting team, do it. Portland shoots like 40 to 50 threes a game, and they don't shoot them well. They don't shoot them well most of the time. A lot of it's like, dude, you're all not Steph Curry, okay? You know, like, stop chucking up threes constantly. And that makes sense. The game changes over time. It always has since the beginning when it was invented. But they're almost reverting. It's gotten so insane. Like, even back, I think they said the team, the Warriors team, it might have been the one that went 73-9, shot a record amount of threes, and now they would be like bottom of the league in threes attempted. I think the Celtics shoot like 50 plus threes a game. Portland's got to be in the 40s. Every time I look at their stat line, it's like 40 freaking threes. And they hit 12. They hit 11, 10. Not even. They don't even hit the big 7 of 42. But they're somehow taking 53s, 43s. They'll shoot those threes at like 40%, but they're losing by 30 still. It's like 90% of their shots are threes. The league's in a weird place. But Portland is just not. They're not improving. It's annoying because I look at their talent. And like, they got to trade a couple of players. Between Simons, Ayton, and Grant, they're probably going to have to trade 2 of those 3. Sharp is your guy. He could be your guy. I like to say, I don't know, say something. Donovan Klingman. He could be good. He's been a little banged up, so I'm not playing him a lot at the center position, the rookie. Scoot Henderson's been playing on and off. He was good last night. They don't develop these guys either. I feel like Billups not developing these guys well enough. Denny, the guy they got from Washington to trade, is solid, but they're not starting him. But he's good. He needs to be one of those guys that's there moving forward. And the guys that got Kamara and Walker and stuff that are solid. Robert Williams III, I think his name is hurt again. Every time I look, there's like 5 guys hurt. The 3 dudes have sprained ankles. I don't know. It's a little sports ramble here to end it, but yeah, anyway, it's been a great year for YouTube. It's been, health-wise, it's been back and forth. Like I said, we had the big move, so that was a big life-changing thing, but it's going well. I enjoy it down here. The people are nice. You got to adjust to certain things, too, with, like, foods and stuff. You got to be, okay, this food's better down here. This food is not as good as it was in New York, but this food's better than it is in New York. You're going to get better barbecue down here. Absolutely, 100%. We did find a solid pizza place that I talked about, which is nice. We did find a good diner-type place, too. It's called David's Restaurant. Still got to go to the Black Powder Smokehouse, I think. A couple other restaurants we need to go to. We've gone to some good ones, though. The one in town, I believe, called The Table. It's like a breakfast brunch place. We've been there a couple of times. We've been there at least twice, maybe twice. They just got voted best, like, breakfast place in North Carolina. Asheboro has a lot of nice restaurants. Taco Loco was good. We haven't been to the Flying Pig yet. We went to this, I can't forget. There's another Mexican place that was really good. I can't remember the name, though. Senor something. What else did we go to? Hamilton's was good. That was a steakhouse, I believe. Right? Went to a place called, I think they just reopened. They had closed for something. And then they opened a sushi place as well in a different location. I can't remember the name of the place, though. That was good. Why can't I remember the name of that place? Oh, I forget. And this place, America's Roadhouse, has these, the Yardbirds. It's pretty much chicken tenders. They're huge, like this big. They're awesome. Might be some of the best tenders I've ever had, actually. I'm a chicken tender connoisseur. But yeah, it's been nice. Everybody's nice. I like the vibe and stuff. And hey, we're still new here, so it's still nice to get out and explore more and stuff and do all that stuff. Learn everything about the town, the inner workings. I want to get to that aviation museum as well. But yeah, this is just an end of the year ramble here, long ramble. A little soft spoken, a little whispering, and here's to 2025. I hope everybody has a good new year, a great 2025. Thanks to everybody again. And yeah, thanks for checking this out, and have a good